Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is with my pleasure to give you all a walk around and tour of this absolutely beautiful 2024 BMW X5. The X5 has been around now for over 2 decades, and as you can see, this newest generation, which made its debut back in around 2020, has become the choice of vehicle for BMW. And not only that, this one here is quite special because this one here we're taking a look at today has the M Sport package. And what essentially that means is that you're not going to get the full-blown M experience like what you would on a true BMW X5 M competition, but instead you are going to be getting some bits and pieces of what you get on that vehicle for a lot less money, which includes a blacked out grille, blacked out wheels, blacked out badging, or in this case, just some more sportier badges, and a very nicely put together interior. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see, the key for the X5 just looked really nice on the hands, and I kind of like the look of it. You're going to have your lock right here, which is the BMW logo, followed by your unlock, trunk release, and panic button. Now, you do have remote start on here, but I'm not going to demonstrate that since this is the first time I'm reviewing a BMW with remote start, but it is there. As you can see, starting off here in the front of the vehicle, we do have BMW's kidney grille, which is completely blacked out because, like I said, this one does have the M Sport package. You also do have a front-facing camera right here, which is going to help you to not get into a front-end collision with any other vehicle, as well as your front parking sensors here, which plays a role too. You have your BMW emblem right there in the front, and overall, it does look pretty aggressive. You do have LED daytime running lights, as well as LED projector headlamps. Checking out the wheels and tires on this one, we're taking a look at a set of Pirelli P0 tires, and these are on 21-inch wheels. These measure 275/40R 21s all the way around, and this particular one that we're looking at is going to be for the X5, and in this case here, these are M-specific wheels because you do have that M Sport package. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket or on your person, just come over here. There's a touch sensor inside. Put your hand in the vehicle will unlock, allowing you to jump in inside. And then when you're done, tap the button here, which is right here actually, and one beep will indicate locking, and the mirrors will eventually fold into place. The exterior color of this one is finished off in Alpine White, with a black Sensafin leather interior with quilted accenting specific to the X5 with the M Sport package. Come over to the door panels. You can see you're going to have some soft touch material on top as well as at the bottom. You're going to have stitching right up here as well as right here. You have an aluminum door handle, your unlock and lock switches here, 2-person memory seating here. This is to open up the trunk up here. You're going to have your power mirror controls as well as to fold them in, as well as your power windows, as well as your child window lock. You also have this kind of faux wood right here in the trim area in the door panel, which is very nice. You have a deep storage pocket as well as an area for a cup holder. To start the X5, just make sure you have the key fob on you in the vehicle or in your person. Put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The X5 does come standard with a fully leather wrapped rack and pinion power steering wheel with controls here on the left as well as on the right sides. You also have aluminum finished paddle shifters on the left as well as on the right also. You also have this M badge signifying which trim level you have, and in this case, again, as I'm going to kind of be verbatim in this video, this one here does have the M Sport package, so you do get a M Sport like steering wheel. Coming up here, we're taking a look at a 12.3-inch instrument cluster, followed that by a 14.9-inch infotainment system. Starting off with this right here, the 12.3-inch instrument cluster, you're going to be welcomed with your speedometer on your left, tachometer on your right, as well as your current speed, parking, as well as your gear selector in the middle. To the bottom left and right, you're going to have your fuel range to empty, current time, your speed limiter, your seatbelt reminder, And to the right, you're going to have your exterior temperature as well as your, what I believe is going to be for your coolant temperature. Now, as you can see, we can make some changes based on what we're looking at here. And this is going to be kind of like the home base of the X5's screen. So as you can see, when we push this button on the steering wheel, we get content. You also have your layout and then your heads-up display. So going to content here, you're going to have your standard look right here, followed by your trip information, which includes your mileage driven, mileage for trip A or trip B. You do have your compass, navigation, your G meter, as well as your audio. And then come over here to your layout. You can have it like this or like that. This to me just looks a lot cooler because you know it's a BMW and it simply just adds a bit of uniqueness to the instrument cluster. And then heads-up display, you can kind of see it, but it's right there. It's going to give you a couple things such as your standard view, directional view, which is going to show that compass, sport view, as well as a reduced view. Coming over here, we're taking a look at BMW's 14.9-inch infotainment screen, and this is huge. This is basically like a small television that you're looking at in the vehicle. But as you can see here, everything you're going to need to use for the system is going to be controlled in either one of two ways. This is a touchscreen, but you also have a physical control right down here in the middle, of which you can use as well. So what we're taking a look at here is your home page, which includes your left side here, which is going to be for things such as personal assistant, audio, and all that stuff, navigation over here, and then climate controls are going to be down here for your front and front seat passenger. You also have icons here which correspond to the screen here, which of course we're looking at your home page right now. This right here is going to be for your climate controls, which you can adjust as you can see there. You also have individual settings as well as preconditioning. This is going to be your navigation system. As you can see in this vehicle, it looks very nice and well detailed. You can also search for destinations here. And then you're going to have things like gas stations, your home address, points of interest and all that stuff, as well as settings. And this right here is going to be your audio area. So that's going to include AM, FM, and Sirius XM radio. That's what audio source is for. You have your preset stations here. It's going to show what's playing on the radio. And of course, you can remove your presets, sort stations, and adjust your sound in the sound settings. And as you can see, this is kind of what it's going to look like here fully when it takes over the screen, which is just really cool. Come over here. This is going to be for your menu, and there's a lot of stuff to go through. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. And then right here is going for your telephone. And that, of course, is going to allow you to connect a new telephone to the vehicle via the vehicle's Bluetooth system. Now, coming back over here, this is where you're going to be spending a lot of your time because you're going to have a lot of apps to go through. So you have all apps, infotainment, and vehicle settings. So starting off with all apps, you're going to have a plethora of apps to go through in this vehicle, which includes your BMW ID, personal assistant, as well as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You have AM radio, automate habits, BMW messages, climate control, displays, doors and windows, driving settings, exterior lighting, and all of that coming all the way down to the end, as you can see here. It includes things such as navigation, system settings, telephone, vehicle status, Wi-Fi connections, seat comfort, as well as your parking sensors. Going to your system settings here, this is going to allow you to adjust things within the iDrive system, and as you can see, it's very nice. It's going to allow you to adjust things such as your date and time, your language, your voice control, time period for trip data, as well as units, sound, touchpad, pop-ups, notifications, as well as getting started. And then, of course, you have vehicle settings, which includes valet and parking mode, deep sleep mode, as well as data and devices. So what we're looking at here is the BMW operating system, or basically iDrive 8.5. So with that being said, where it stops right here is this time period for trip data. It's going to tell you values since individual was last reset and all that stuff. And stuff of that nature is just pretty cool to see. Let's go back to your system settings real quick here. Let's say we want to go to our sound. You can adjust your treble, bass, and balance, as well as your fader, which is very cool. And then you have volume settings and to reset, and then audio confirmation. You have different notifications, as you can see here, which includes missed calls, new messages, BMW messages, and SiriusXM content. Notifications at the end of the trip, as you can see there. And then any suggestions that you might want to look into. Let's say I want to go to our vehicle status. It's going to give us a checklist of different pinpoints of the vehicle, which includes your tire pressure monitoring system, which, as you can see, is in good shape. You also have your engine oil level, which is good. Check control, which is also good. Service, which you can schedule service for the vehicle, as you can see here. And it's going to even give you your service history of when your vehicle needs to go in for service, as you can see. So as you can tell, emission inspection is going to be due in October, vehicle inspection in October, and then as you can see here, it's going to give you different intervals of when you need to get your vehicle serviced. So to me, I like that, and I think that's going to really help out, especially if you're someone who likes to follow the service bulletins by the book. And this is BMW staple they've been doing for many, many years now. Let's say I want to go to our seat comfort, for example. You can adjust your seating position. You have seat climate control, as you can see there. That's going to allow you to get your heated seat function here, or your heated steering wheel. And then seat operating tips, which includes height, backrest tilt, seat tilt, longitudinal direction, thigh support, upper backrest, head restraint, steering wheel, backrest width, lumbar support. I mean, this is just really cool to see, because it's going to allow you to adjust every single little thing to make your seat very comfortable for you, which is quite nice to see. Let's say now we want to go to our interior lighting. You have a reading light here, ambient lighting, as well as cockpit brightness at night, so you can adjust the brightness of the cockpit here, which is very cool. Different displays. You have your cockpit brightness at night, which you can adjust, your head-up display, your instrument cluster, and control display. Let's say I want to go to our live vehicle. That's kind of where we just were with everything for, vehicle status. You also have your trip data, as you can see there, which includes your average MPG, duration, mileage, as well as your average miles driven, and adaptive content, which, as you can see there. And last but not least, we will probably go and check out our climate control. As you can see here, you have AC, you're going to have auto air conditioning, fan positioning, sync, max AC. You can adjust the fan speed, which, as you can see, very, very, very neat and cool to see that in this vehicle. Individual settings here, so for the driver or front passenger. And then, of course, you can do preconditioning whenever you start, whether you like to start it now or when you exit the vehicle. So that's going to be under here as well. So that's the departure plan, so you can have it scheduled and you can do it at a regular basis. And of course, remote engine start. You can start the engine for climate control and all that stuff, as well as you can consult your owner's manual of how to see how the remote start works in the vehicle. So from what I understand and from what I learned, this is a very comprehensive menu, and I have to appreciate that, because as someone who wants to get into more, I wouldn't say higher end vehicles, but to get into something that's a bit more expensive, and this being an X5, the new BMW tech in here, I thought would have been, not as great as I would have imagined, but this 8.5 operating system is just really, really good. So a lot of credit to BMW for that. And of course, it is well detailed to see. So I enjoy that, and I think that's pretty cool to see as well. So as we come back here to our home page, you can use this little scroll knob down here to kind of go through what's going on this side. So you have your personal assistant, which of course is a BMW staple now. They've been using this for the last few years. You have your stored stations, and you can connect your device via the Bluetooth. Destination input, your compass, my BMW, as well as a widget that if you want to add, you can simply do that. So overall, just a really cool system. And again, iDrive 8.5 operating system is just really amazing to see. So with that said, guys, that's going to wrap it up here for the infotainment system tour in the 2024 BMW X5. But before we move any further, this does come standard with a 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission. As you can see, it does have a backup camera with guidance lines. You also have these little markers here which will tell you to say, hey, you might want to be careful where you're backing up. And I think that's a really cool thing to have in this vehicle. And as we move along here, as you can see, you do have your wood grain trim coming down the middle, which is very nice. You do also have this kind of unique carbon fiber look down here where the air vents are going to be. That's very cool attention to detail. You also do have your volume knob right here, seat track, hazard light, max AC, as well as rear climate controls. Down here is where you're going to be able to charge your phone wirelessly, that's where you'll find your 2 cup holders. You have a USB port here, as well as a 12-volt outlet as well. And this is going to be kind of the control center for everything, as you can see, and it does look pretty cool. So that includes your traction control on or off, your parking sensors, your different drive modes here, which includes Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, and of course you have auto hold here, electronic parking brake. You do also have the control here, which is going to be for the infotainment system, so the little control module, which is very nice. And you have some shortcut buttons on top, which includes media, home, map, navigation, telephone, as well as a back button and an option button. Let's say we want to talk about these here. Let's see what happens on the screen. You have Sport, which is going to allow you to select from Sport Plus, Sport Individual, and just Standard Sport. You have Comfort for your balanced driving, and Eco Pro for efficient driving. As you can see, you can select from Eco Pro or Eco Pro Individual. So we'll leave it back in Comfort because it just looks nice, and that's where we're going to be leaving it in for the remainder of the video. Coming over here, you have a split open glove compartment with a decent amount of storage space. You also have a USB-C port inside as well. The seating inside of the BMW X5 is beautifully exquisite. I love the way that this is detailed. I love the way how this is put together. The quilted material coming all the way down the seat just adds a nice touch to it. And you do have some pretty nice side bolsters as well. You also have some nice white stitching along the sides too. And you do have a thigh extension right here, which is very, very convenient. You do also have this kind of faux wood, which continues on throughout the dashboard, which again is nice. I love this here where it says X5, so kind of a unique trim. And then coming down to your glove compartment, it is dampened, it is lined with felt, and you have a decent amount of storage space inside. You do have your mirror up here. You do have your controls here for your sunroof as well as for your roadside assistance. You also do have a visor here with a small mirror as well as an LED light. And as you come down to the left, you're going to have your gauge dimmer switch here, your light controls here for your headlights, and this right here is to turn the lights on or off, depending on if you have it set to auto, which is pretty cool. So with that being said, guys, the BMW X5 once again has been a staple for BMW for over 20 years now, and as you can see now going into 2025, it continues to be a very smart choice if you're looking for something that's a little bit more luxury oriented. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and continue the tour of this amazing luxury SUV. Checking out the second row of the BMW X5, materials do fall through in this one here, and it does look really, really cool. You're going to have 2 seat pockets, one on this side and one on that side. You do have your rear vents back here. You do have your adjustments. This is going to adjust the heat as far as the heat's concerned. You have 2 small storage areas, and then down here at the very bottom, you do have an outlet with 2 USB-C ports. You also have this right here, which also contains another USB-C port, and you're gonna have one more on that side over there, followed by a pad armrest with 2 cup holders. Coming into the cargo area of the BMW X5, it is kind of a unique opening because you have this top portion up here, but you also have this bottom portion, which you just push this button, that will release and it will open as well, allowing for easy clearance to the inside of the trunk area. Now, cargo space in this vehicle is pretty plentiful. As you can see here, you're looking at just over 33 cubic feet of cargo space with the seats up like this, and as you can tell, plenty of room to put stuff in, whether it's a 2 sets of suitcases, or if you're going on a Costco run, you'll be able to put that stuff inside pretty easily. And when you fold down the second row, as you can see there, cargo space will expand to just over 74 cubic feet of cargo space, which is very, very nice. And overall, at the end of the day, it will give you more than enough room for you and your passengers. Now, you do have this privacy cover here, which, as you can see, like that, is going to cover everything at the bottom here, and so that way nothing's exposed. You're going to have your carpeted mats here, carpeted trunk mat, and then underneath here, you do have your spare tire and fix-a-flat kit. And then when you're done, just do it like this. Just tap this here, and it will go back to the place there and it'll close up. And then tap this button, and it will close it down automatically. The X5 does have, when it comes to the rear of the vehicle, the X5 does have LED taillights. You're going to have your rear parking sensors, your dual exhaust tips, and of course, kind of like this very nice looking diffuser area down here, and body colored as well. The X5 also does give you a very nice set of crossbars. Fuel tank is right here. Follow that up with your body colored mirrors with LED turn signals on them. Hold on, guys, I may not have opened it properly. There we go. There we go. Under the hood of the BMW X5, we are taking a look at one of BMW's most reliable engines. Known as the B58, this is going to be a 3-liter inline 6. It produces 375 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be made to that 8-speed transmission, and you can have this in either rear-wheel drive, which is what this one is configured in, or you can have it in all-wheel drive, which is the X-Drive. All right, guys, back in the X5, and the last thing to go through in this vehicle is the vehicle's window sticker. Albeit a little small, this is what it looks like. 2024 BMW X5 sDrive40i has an MSRP of $65,200. Finished off in Alpine White with a black Sensafin leather. You get the M Sport package for $2,750. You get the remote engine start for $300. The 21-inch M Y-spoke bicolor 741M style wheels for $950. You do get the the heated front seats, armrest, and stuff of that nature for $350. You do also get the Live Cockpit Pro for $1,100. The destination chart comes in at $995, and the total MSRP when this was brand new was just a hair over $71,600. As you can see, you have standard features up here. And fuel economy for this vehicle is pretty decent, coming in at 23 city, 27 highway, and 25 combined. And so overall, in conclusion, the BMW X5, like I mentioned, has been around for over 2 decades now. And for 2024, it looks amazing. 2025, it looks pretty much the same, which is very awesome to see. But it also does get a new look, which personally, I'm not the biggest fan of. I much more like how this one looks, which I believe this generation in particular came out for either 2018 or 2020. But it does look really, really good. And as you can see, I like it for what it is. I love the iDrive 8.5. I personally would not think I would have liked it as much as I did, but I love it, and I love the way how it's well detailed and well put together. With that being said, everyone, that's going to wrap it up here for the walk around and tour of the 2024 BMW X5, finished off in Alpine White with the black Sensafin leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next